Do you ever wonder what does it take to prevent burnout? In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 things I did in order to recover from my own burnout. A year ago, I suffered from professional burnout and I was on sick leave for 6 months. And everybody kept telling me it's work, your workload is too heavy. But I knew it was a lot more than that. It was a lot deeper than that. I wish someone would have told me what I'm about to tell you. Here's the thing, once I figured out these 4 ways, I became a better and happier person. Hi, my name is Tima Salame, and I am a leadership and executive coach. And for the past year, I have been obsessed with personal development, studying burnout prevention, and coaching executives become better and happier leaders. I am so happy you are here because doing these 4 things can save you so much stress and struggle. So let's get into it. The first thing that I had to tune into is what is important to me? What are my core values? Here's an exercise that I want you to do with me now. So, if you can get a pen and a paper and then try to write down your 2 core values. And I want you to pick only 2. And if you're having a hard time knowing your values, think about your priorities. Once you start writing down your priority, you will quickly find out what you value most. And why do we start with the values? Because when we are clear about our values, then we can let them guide our day to day decisions. For example, let's say you value courage. Next time you know you have to say no to a commitment or you want to say no to a commitment and you are having a very hard time saying no, remind yourself that you value courage and find the courage to say no. It becomes a lot easier to define and communicate your boundaries. Another example is, let's say you value authenticity. So next time you catch yourself trying very hard to fit in, remember your value and decide to show up authentically as your true self and to stand for what you believe in. When you're anchored in your values, you don't try very hard to fit in and you don't pretend like you are someone you're not. Instead, you show up exactly like you are, and this is where your unique power lies. The second thing that I want you to do is to be aware of the early signs. And usually people around us will notice before we do. If these who are close to you start telling you things like, you look more tired than usual, I feel like something is off, you are less patient than usual, then don't brush it off. Take the time to think about it and ask yourself if there you've been noticing in change in your behavior, things you are doing now that they are so out of character. For example, if you're someone who is usually very patient and you start snapping very fast at people that you love, then maybe it's time to take a step back and reflect what's going on. If you're usually someone who is confident and you start self doubting yourself, even on the little things that you used to do very easily, like you start questioning yourself every time you're about to have a conversation with your boss or every time you're about to send an email, then maybe also it's time to think and reflect and ask yourself, is my stress level getting to a point where it's affecting my day to day activities? Another things to pay attention to is your sleeping, eating, and drinking patterns. If you're usually a good sleeper and you start having a very hard time going to bed, that's something to pay attention to. If usually you enjoy a social drink once in a while and you see yourself, you start grabbing this drink every night or more than one drink a night or whatever is different from your usual routine, then this is something also to pay attention to. If you don't catch the early sign very fast, it will be too late, and you'll find yourself to a point where you are totally drained, and the recovery will most likely take longer. So, make a list of all these signs that you've been noticing in yourself, or those around you have been bringing up, and ask yourself, is there anything that I can do? The third way is work smarter, not harder. I used to feel like I have to fill out every hour of every day. If I'm not sleeping, then there's a task that I should be doing. And I would go through the motion every day. at work, after work, the weekends, and filling out every hour was something to be done. And at the end of the day, I would still feel like I haven't done anything. Now I have a new way of working. I have a new relationship with time. What I do is every day at the beginning of my day, I write down my top three. I call them my three no matter what's. So, no matter what happens that day, I need to get these three things done. And if I get them done and I still have time during the day, then I can go down the list. But every time I get distracted, I go back to my three no matter what's. And every morning I write my three no matter what's on a post it and I put it in front of me so that I can keep focusing on my three no matter what's. This way, no matter what happens during my day, and if I get distracted or if I get pulled into any other direction, it's so easy to come back to it. And also, I feel like I've accomplished something important during my day because I got to do what's important to me that day. And if you have a lot of things on your mind and you're thinking, I can't only uh, write three things, no problem. On another paper, do a brain dump and write everything that comes to your mind on that list. And still, every morning, look at that list and see what you're moving from the brain dump list to the no matter what list, and only stick to three. The fourth way that I wanted to share with you is take care of your body. And I know that this one is a very obvious one. We all know that we should take care of ourselves. We should take care of our physical capacity. Yet, unfortunately, a lot of us ignore it, and we ignore it until it's too late. Then we will do everything in our power to get our health back. So it's very important that we eat well, we sleep well, and we exercise. We all know that stress affects our immune system. And if our physical body is not strong enough, we don't have the resilience when we are faced with bigger challenges. I can tell you for sure that the fact that I was physically active and I had very good habits when it comes to my sleep and to my diet and to exercising, that has helped me a lot to recover faster from my burnout. I remember every time I went to see my doctor during my leave, she would ask me, are you still doing yoga? Are you still eating well? Are you consuming more than usual? And now I understand the importance of all these factors because when you build these good habits, when everything is going well, then you can anchor in them when things get a little bit more challenging. And things will get a little more challenging. It's inevitable that you'll be faced with a higher stress, whether at work or at home. But if you're physically strong, you can navigate these challenging times a lot easier. If you like this video, please subscribe so that you know when the next one comes out. Thank you so much for tuning in today and spending time with me. I'll see you in the next video.